What's good, guys? Welcome to my channel, Flawed in Content here. And I just want to start off just by telling you how I came up with that name. So that name came up like really last minute. I was trying to do different things. Like I think I had Everyday Danielle. It was like, I'm not feeling that. And then I had another name. I forgot what that name was because it's just whatever. I was really trying to get into my groove with this channel. But Flawed in Content just came out of nowhere, and I was just like, I like that. I like that because I am flawed. Yes, I've been through everything that I can handle. You know what I mean? I'm in no competition with your trauma. Your trauma is your trauma. There's no competition. There's no judgment. There's no nothing. But I'm content with everything that I've been through, okay? I am grateful for everything that I've been through because being that I'm almost 40, got one more year to go. I'm going to be 40 next year. And I don't have any children, and with this mother wound, it has taught me a lot, and I am grateful for it. All the things that I've been through, seen with my mother, whatever she was going through, whatever habits that I've seen in her, in me, I was just like, well, that needs to go. I can't be living like that. I don't want to live like that. And then I came to this conclusion that the mother wound is not really here to destroy you. It's really actually a preview. It's a preview of what can possibly come if you don't, get your act together. Because what it is with the mother wound is that your mother's heart, your mother's thinking process, your mother's trauma, all of that built up crap is with you, and that's something that you needed to work through so that you can reset the cycle. You know what I mean? Even though I don't have children right at this moment, anything is possible. Look at Sarah. Look at Sarah in the Bible. She done had a baby at 99.9, okay? And we have been conditioned in society that time is moving and time is this and time. Divine timing is the clock that I go by, okay? So with me being 40, with me being 38 right now, almost 39 in April, I'll be 39. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything that I've gone through. And if I had a girl child right now, I'd be telling her everything. And that's something that my mother didn't do with me. She didn't tell me, men ain't shit. She didn't tell me. You feel me? She gate kept a lot of her secrets and shame and stuff like that. And that's one thing that I really have had to work through with my healing journey, because like, damn, she didn't even warn me. You know what I mean? And so I had to go out there with a flashlight in the dark. Or what I really like to say is I had no flashlight in the dark. You know what I mean? I had to just go out there and feel my way through life. And with each era, I've learned something about myself, or I learned something about that situation, or I learned how to trust my intuition more. I learned how to, maneuver in this world so that each time that I got hurt, in the future, there's going to be a lesser chance of me getting hurt, because I'm going to start listening to my intuition more. I'm going to start feeling, that my emotions are valid. No matter who I'm dealing with, no matter what I'm going through, my emotions is always valid, right? And I feel like that's something that our mothers didn't cherish when they were dealing with whoever they were dealing with when we were younger, right? So if you have a mother wound, I advise you that the first thing to do is to just forgive your mother. Forgive her. There's nothing more valuable than just forgiving somebody for not knowing better, or not being able to process everything that's going on around them. Yeah, they're an adult, right? I'm an adult too, and I still up from time to time, and I can't get mad at myself. Sometimes it's like that kid part of me still wants to come through and still fuck up the game and shit like that. But you have to pull it back and be like, no, You cannot come into this situation. You know what I mean? You cannot bring those emotions into this situation. You have to handle this more civilized than how you would have handled it when you were 18 years old. You know what I mean? So every milestone from 18 to 25 to 30 to 35 to now, right now, is I've learned a lot about myself, and I cannot discredit it. You know what I mean? I cannot be like, oh, I wish I knew this and I wish I knew that. I don't wish I knew anything. I had to learn the way I learned. You know what I mean? And I had to go through my obstacles the way I went through my obstacles, because that's the only thing that I understood at that moment. You know, now that I could, you know, there's more knowledge out there, and I understand that there's options to life. You don't have to live this way. You don't have to stay this way. You don't have to stay at that job. You don't have to be with that man. You don't have to be with a man. There's options to life, you know what I mean? And what I realize is that everybody wants to shun you because of the combination of how you want to live your life. If you want to be 45 with 1,000 cats and stuff like that because that's how you feel comfortable, you don't want kids, you don't want a man, you just want a man to fuck on every Friday night, do you? If that makes you happy, do you? You know what I mean? Don't care what nobody opinion of how they envision your life. If that's how you feel happy, do you? Because I know when I was younger, I spent my 20s with a male, right? Living in this house, and we fought at least once a week. Oh, we fought at least once a week. So you know what I did? I packed my shit up and I left. After a while, I was like, this is stupid. You know, you learn. You think you have to stay in this situation. Just like my mother probably thought she had to stay in the situation with my father. You know what I mean? And eventually she decided to say, you know what? I'm going to get my ass up and go. That's why she abandoned me. And I get it. You know? I went through so many different emotions when it came to this, my mother wound. When she abandoned me at 17 years old. And I had to go out there in the world by myself. And I was just like, I was just so focused on the fact of I want to become a nurse, and to this day I became a nurse, and I'm proud of myself, right? And one thing I know about this mother wound is that if you have been inflicted with a mother wound, it's more likely your mother wasn't proud of herself. You know, she needed to do whatever it is to make herself happy. You know what I mean? If she needed to go run off with somebody else, or if she needed to go, you know, just leave you. You know what I mean? Or if she needed to beat you up, or if she needed to verbally abuse you, whatever. You know what I mean? She just needed to go and make herself happy. And what she didn't think of was the consequences. And most people don't think of consequences when they're doing whatever they're doing to make themselves happy. You know, they do whatever they need to do to make themselves happy. And that is something that I've really come to the conclusion about. Do whatever it is that makes you happy. Do it. Do it. If you feel like if you're doing what you need to do, hurt other people, you're going to have to deal with those consequences later on in life, or whatever happens. You know what I mean? Consequences doesn't always have to be a negative thing. It's just what happens in the sequence, right? So consequences, something that happens in the sequence. So if I go and I step out into the street without looking left and right, the consequence would be a car could hit me. Or the consequence could be somebody sees me stepping out in the street and they hit the brakes immediately. You know what I'm saying? So do whatever makes you happy. That's my number one rule since I've been working on my healing journey. You know, do whatever makes you happy. I see so many women getting bashed for doing whatever makes them happy. I've seen a short of a woman saying that she got 10 kids by how many different baby daddies, I don't know, but her main focus was, well, if this nigga is acting up, I'm on to the next one. If you got the stamina for that, my girl, if you need a man that badly, my girl, go, do you eventually her heart will change, right? And everybody wants to be, oh, she's for the street, she's this, she's that. For what? She's making herself happy. Nobody looks at it that way. Everybody looks at it, oh, she's a disgrace, she's this, she's that, she did it. She's making herself happy. If the next man is more thrilling than the one before, go ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl. Because these men out here is looking for whatever makes themselves happy. So why we got to be excluded? You know what I mean? Everybody's talking about self-worth and this, that, and that. My man, you probably been boning chicks left and right every day for the past 5 years. You know? Let's stop looking at this as a double standard type of thing. You know what I mean? A woman is supposed to be this and a woman is supposed to be that. A mother is supposed to be something, but she wasn't that. My mother wasn't that. My mother wasn't that type of mother. And I can't knock her. You know what I mean? And this is what my healing journey has gotten me to. At one point, I was really upset with her, but now I'm just like, she just went to go make herself happy. You know, she went somewhere where she needed to feel appreciated. You know, whatever was going on in the household, she might have not have felt appreciated. She might have not felt fulfilled. She might have not felt supported. She might not felt secure. She might not have felt herself. You don't know what the hell was going on in your mother's head. You know, shout out to anybody whose mother had passed away. You know, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But this is mostly for people or women who had motherless mothers who weren't here. And I'm not discrediting your situation, but you know, it's just as painful to have a mother who's very nonchalant to her daughter. You know, her daughter wants to be her best friend, and mother and daughter dynamic duo, that's supposed to be your best friend, that's supposed to be a guide, that's supposed to be your light. But then you have these mother who's just on a whole different trajectory. You know, so therefore, as a woman that's almost 40, I can't discredit my 20s. I can't discredit anything that I have been through in the past, because what I've been through in the past is just going to set me up for the future. You know, I've sat down and been able to like learn myself and understand myself and really get grips of who I am, you know what I mean, what I want from what I don't want. Because to be honest with you, I've always known that I didn't want a man, and I've been dealing with men for many years, and I'm realizing like, yeah, I really didn't want a man, but I dealt with them and stuff like that. I still love them, but I just realized like, you know what, I think the type of person that I am is best that I don't deal with a man. You know, it's best I don't, you know, go down that route, because there's so many stories of where I see men really fucking up women's life. Why? Because they're jealous, or why? Because they just want to, you know, and that's not fair. That's not fair to anybody. So if you are a woman out there who's gone through, you know, just feeling down and depressed because your mother don't love you, or your mother didn't show you the care, or you just had a rough life just trying to figure yourself out, and you're seeing this video, I wanted to say congratulations, because I know you're tired, and I know you're ready to win at this point. But the first step that you need to really dive deep into is learning how to forgive your mother, because once you forgive your mother, the floodgates open up after that. Forgiving my mother was one of the most easiest things, but just talking to her at first. I'll share the story about it one day, or my next video, of just, you know, just breaking that ice at 25 years old of, you know, confronting my mother, you know. And I feel like that's one of the best things that you can do while if she's still here on this earth, and you still are going through your mother wound, and you know, you feeling uneasy to talk to her, you're feeling like this because you have a lot of resentment. You have a lot of resentment towards your mother if you cannot talk to her. If you cannot talk to her as a woman, you know, you still have resentment in your heart, and that's something that you have to work on if you want to get through this mother wound, right? That's one of the first steps that I can tell you, right? But as a woman who has gone through her mother wound, I really advise you to brace yourself for that answer, one, and two, already put it in your mind that you're going to forgive her no matter what the answer is. No matter what the answer is. Put it in your mind that you're going to forgive her no matter what the answer is. I share with you my favorite Proverbs scripture. You could go look it up yourself. It's 19:11 Proverbs. Um, look it up, you know, look it up and understand that that is your glory. You know, you're going to open up a new chapter in your life as you realize that your mother wound is not here to hurt you. It's more likely to teach you. It's more likely to strengthen you, because you are the beginning of the cycle now. You are the new cycle now. You are the new generation of mothers. You are the new generation, even of the grandmothers. You know what I mean? You are the new generation of it, because why? We want to raise up loving families now. This is why it's important for you to heal your mother wound, because it's time for you to raise up loving families. I don't know about your family, but my family was dysfunctional, disconnected, and just everybody was on different tracks. Nobody was loving and caring. But as I grew up, I thought, well, if you are considered my aunt, then I'm supposed to love you. If you're my cousin, then I'm supposed to love you. But I realized in my family there was no reciprocation, right? So if there's no reciprocation, nobody knows how to love. Nobody knows how to show love. Nobody knows how to embrace love or anything like that. So there's a lot that I want to talk about on this channel when it comes to the mother wound. But I just wanted to get this video out, that I'm content with how my 20s went. A lot of people say they wasted their 20s. No, you learned a lot, so that when you get to your 30s and 40s, you're content. You know, even if you don't get into the relationship that you feel like you should be in or whatever, you're content with yourself. Because a lot of people be like, oh, I need this, you don't need nothing, my G. You don't need nothing. You think you need it. The only thing that you need to do in this process is learn how to forgive your traumater, the person who caused you trauma. The person who caused you trauma. The person who gave you trauma. That's the only person you need to forgive. And then you start to work on yourself and get yourself back together, because the mother wound did play a number on your mind and on your heart. And now, once you get over this hump, is now you have to learn how to love other people. You're going to have to start learning how to love unconditionally. That's another project that one needs to work on when it comes to healing their trauma, is starting to learn how to love people now. Yeah, that can be very hard, but you have to start learning how to trust you. Girl, listen, this is a process, okay? So I just want to just share with you that welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel, where we learn how to forgive, and then we learn how to accept ourselves, because we want beautiful relationships. It doesn't have to only be intimate. It could be friendships. You know what I mean? I haven't had a girlfriend friendship in years. And I want to build a community of women who might have felt like they were unseen, and might have felt like they just couldn't win in this life because of this burden that they're carrying. You know what I mean? I want to hear all the stories about your mother wounded, being mother wounded warriors. That's what I'm going to call y'all, is mother wounded warriors, as I do my research about mother wounds and all this type of stuff. And I just want to come up here and create an ambiance of just acceptance. This is pure acceptance up here. So stay tuned. I think I want to come back with a study of just explaining what the mother wound is, and explaining all the symptoms, and just things that I remember from my childhood growing up, dealing with a motherless mother who was just technically checked out. So stay tuned. My name is Danielle, and thank you for watching. Bye.